I'm Dini Petty on the Ask Victoria channel with this fabulous woman who I met back in the 90s, who's invited me here to come and tell you how I managed to live through it all. Because it ain't easy, babe.
No, but
That's-
look how
yeah.
great you look. You look so great.
You're
as
such
you do
a
this.
girl. You're 71 and you look good. What else matters?
No, I mean, you really, sometimes it's like a salmon going up the stream, and by the end of the stream, that salmon is kind of ravaged and scarred, filled, and all that. You wear your life experiences well, Dini, and that is what I want to show people is that, life can really knock you down, but doesn't have to destroy you and ravage you. And that's what I believe you model. You model that.
I say, and I do some speaking, and I always say that most of us come from dysfunctional family backgrounds.
Yeah.
If you take into account the problems we have with drugs, legal or street drugs, bearing in mind prescription drugs are still the biggest problems, alcohol, physical illness, mental illness, extreme religious or philosophical upbringing, mental abuse, physical abuse,
Narcissism.
verbal abuse, sexual abuse, yes, and those who perpetrate that's a lot more than 50% of us. And my family was in the finals for the bronze in dysfunctionality every year. We went for the silver. We never won, but we were contenders.
But you kept your sense of humor. That to me is part of the toolbox of getting through life well, is you kept a sense of humor with it all.
Life is very, very difficult. Yeah. If you have a sense of humor, it's very difficult. No sense of humor, it's very, very, I don't know. I don't know how to survive without being able to laugh at it. And I don't know how many times I pulled into my driveway, turned off the car and went, oh God, this is crazy.
So what you're saying to me is, one of the things I'm noticing as you're talking to me is you observe your life as opposed to being in it, and being in it. So there's the storm, and there's being in the storm, or then there's observing the storm and going, oh, this is what's going on. And that to me is humor. It's a commentary about what's going on. Is that what you're talking about when you talk about sense of humor?
Yeah, I don't, I often say to people, again speaking, if I could give you one gift, I would give you all a sense of humor. It will make it easier. But it's just the way you are. Right. But the ability to see the absurdity has always been a talent that I've had.
Right. So you don't take yourself as seriously, is what I'm hearing.
No, please, I don't. And my family was very dysfunctional. My father suffered from post-traumatic stress syndrome quite seriously from World War II.
Okay, yeah.
My mother was in the war, and vets never talk about it. She was in the intelligence corps.
Oh, wow.
And she would plot the flights of the planes over Germany and then the flights of those who came back. So I don't know if my mother ended up drinking herself to death because she couldn't deal with my father or because my father's PTS and hers, but my growing up was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're not in an alleyway with a needle in your arm.
No.
You are vibrant and contributing, and is that one of the tools, do you think, to survive that, to contribute, to help others, to be of service to the planet?
It is under one condition, and I believe this is true, that if you can, you do. If you can't help, there's no need to apologize.
Right.
You just do, but Victoria, I don't know how, and I'm almost so sick and tired of saying this. How do we get people to realize the basic lesson in life is to take care of yourself first?
Yeah. So fill your own vessel, which is what I talk about in my books, first book, second book. Fill your own cup first, create an overflow, and give to others from the overflow. Don't give to others from the main vessel, because that main vessel you need to stay vibrant, strong, full.
I don't know how often my cup has actually overflowed, because I was a single
you're
mother.
an overflower.
No, I raised two kids on my own, no support from either father. Ran all I remember doing is running as fast as I could. I think I ate most of my meals in the car. And I just ran and did what I had to do.
But you never became bitter, it seems like. It doesn't leave.
What do you mean I never?
It doesn't seem like you're an embittered type of person. It seems like you're direct. You're no fool, and nobody takes advantage of you.
True.
Right? I really feel
they
that.
have done on
maybe,
occasion.
but you learned, and you learned quickly. It doesn't seem to me that you carry a chip on your shoulder, going, jealousy, chips on the shoulders are all about not really wanting the other person's success because you feel threatened on some level or because you've suffered.
Yeah.
So it does not seem,
No.
as I get to know Dini quite well, that that's not at all your MO, your modus operandi.
But, and I think that's based on my belief. I know for myself,
Yes.
with 100% certainty that gives me great comfort, that we are spiritual beings. I know there's more
What does
than
that mean
this.
to you? What does we are spiritual beings mean to you?
We're infinite spiritual beings. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. There is more than this.
So we're on a journey. We are on a journey as spiritual beings to learn what? What do you think it is? I mean, I have my thoughts about that. I'm really curious about you.
I don't know. I studied everything that came along my way. Gestalt. I even went to the Catholic Church to study that, and the priest said, I don't think this is for you. I looked at everything I could, and when I was doing television, I had two great resources. One, when I started, there was a phone-in show, and people would phone in with their live phone in with their problems, and I go,
Love it.
oh, that one's weird. And then I go, wait a minute, I got a bit of that one. Oh my God, I got a lot. And I realized we're all very much the same.
Yeah.
And we tend to think that we're not. That there are only X amount of problems in life, and everybody gets a little bit of them.
Yeah.
And then because I studied all those things, and because I had some extraordinary experiences in my life, wow, I've had 10 out-of-body experiences. Maybe more.
Due to accidents or due to
No.
just lying there and actually meditating and just having an out-of-body experience?
I didn't meditate. I can't make them happen. I've actually gone to places like the Monroe Institute. And when you go in, at the top of the sheet, it says, if you've come for an out-of-body experience, you got a 3% chance.
Right.
There's no, I can't learn to make them happen, but I've had them happen.
So what I'm hearing from you having out-of-body experiences is
And
that
a few other things.
And a few other things, that it is confirmed for you that you're not just this physical body.
No,
You are not just skin and bones and muscle and tendons. You are we are, and I really believe this, I'm a holistic psychotherapist, so that means a mind, body, spirit experience of doing the work with people, that we are something other than our physical being.
Oh, totally.
That connects with the much bigger picture than ourselves, much bigger picture.
And whatever that is, and nobody's smart enough that I've yet met to explain it. But
Who knows, right?
I've had extraordinary experiences that. So when I did almost die 3 years ago, and it's really interesting because when I had these episodes on a Friday night, and I went into the hospital a couple of days later and had the surgery, I didn't know what was going on. And when the third one happened, I thought, I'm dying. So I said out loud, you better sit down. I wrapped myself in a duvet because I was trembling or shivering.
You were dying.
Well, I thought I was.
Right.
Obviously I didn't because I'm still here.
Right, but there was something very wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I sat in this big chair and I recited the Lord's Prayer because I don't care what you believe, there's a huge force, whatever words you want to use. And then I looked out the balcony doors because I thought logically death would come in through the doors. Obviously it didn't arrive.
Hollywood, yeah.
But my son and a dear friend arrived. I texted them. When they walked in the door, they both went, my son couldn't talk.
Yeah.
And our friend said, Dini, you're gray.
Oh.
But here's the interesting part, Victoria. In that 2 minutes that I waited for death to appear, I was so calm.
Oh, interesting.
I was so
Not
calm.
panicked, not
No, I
panicked.
was complete. And there was a little tinge of curiosity. Because if this is it, let's see.
Let's see.
Yeah, what can you
So
do?
the question is, I really believe that we are constantly creating our reality through our thinking, that our thoughts emanate a vibration.
Yeah.
And that vibration sends out a beacon sort of to the universe. And because the law of attraction or the law of similars is something out there in the universe, meaning like kind of gravitates to like, that with our thoughts, we bring forth things and we attract to it, not as a punishment. It's not about that. People go sometimes, oh, does that mean you're being punished because of your thinking? No, it's simply that it's important that we are in co-creation with life so that what we think and being conscious of what we think is a very important aspect of living life from a spiritual perspective. What do you think?
I completely agree that positive thinking is a much better way to live, and it does work better in the world.
So choosing your thinking.
But you can't argue with fate.
So that there's that aspect too.
Please. There's the things that you can make happen, and then there's this thing called fate.
Right.
And obviously, fate's a female, because when she's having a bad day, look out. And there's nothing you can do.
So it's a co-creative experience. Okay. We've got, I believe, what we can control, which is just our thinking and our attitude. But the rest we can't control too much of.
Can't control
That's
everything.
just life. So in fact, most things we can't control, but we do have control over one aspect, and that I believe is the mental discipline and our thoughts. And even that's pretty hard. We got to work at it and work at it and work at it.
Yeah, see, I don't do that. I don't work at it.
Okay.
There was a great documentary done on Netflix about happiness, and they made two amazing points. You are born with a set point of happiness. And when I'm left alone, I'm pretty high in the scale. Like, I love my own company. I enjoy myself.
Can we change that set point in your opinion?
I don't know if you can change people's set point, Victoria.
I do believe that. I do believe that.
You can raise it a little bit?
I really do believe that. If I didn't believe that, I don't think I'd do the work I do. I do believe that we can really shift.
Are you changing people's set point, or are you helping people realize that even though you fall down the rabbit hole and you're under the mountain, you can't, there is a way to survive and there are tools. And if you believe, you're the cheerleader, if you believe in me, I mean, I've been on your table. It's wonderful. There's compassion. There's all this good energy. It's just a blessing to have that kind of energy in your life. So that touches and reinforces my own.
So I believe that what I'm hearing you say is that you can call upon an aspect of yourself with tools like a cheerleader, like with support, and that will possibly raise your particular what you're talking about, that set point of happiness, maybe. Because when you're down the rabbit hole of hell, of life is not, not helping, not giving you what you need. I do believe with this notion of the set point, you can either go, I'm out, I'm giving up, or there's a way to shift that and raise it where you go, okay, I have a little bit more faith and trust, and I'm gonna grab onto a hand and take myself out of this.
Like my friend Barb said, you either get out of bed in the morning or you don't. When you get out of bed, you go, okay, I'm going to give this a shot, see what happens. Okay, let's go. Yeah. I might even work out and take care of myself a little and go see Victoria. And
then there's this notion of depression, anxiety, the biochemistry stuff that I do believe. No, but you can work with that. I don't think we are at the mercy of that either. I think that I think it's possible. I think it is absolutely possible. What I wanted to, at some point talk about is the fact that we have these neural pathways.
And you can alter things by working with your neural pathways.
That's right, using brain science.
Okay. That's a good, great.
So let's talk about that just for a moment.
All right, go.
We have neural pathways, thick ones, thin ones, and the thick ones are associated with our long-held beliefs, and the thin ones are like footpaths, and they're associated with brand new concepts and beliefs. So the thick ones are harder to change.
Sure.
Those are the ones that we inherit from our family culture, from our society, from what we learned, from what's been with us since we were children.
Paradigms.
Exactly, like real belief systems. Those are harder to change. Now the footpaths are the new things, I trust in life, life is good, or just beliefs that, people are fundamentally good, people are what, as opposed to maybe what your highway was, is like, people are bad, nobody can trust, you can't trust anyone, whatever it may be that you might have learned in the family culture.
But even recognizing that you have a paradigm.
So it's awareness, but it's awareness plus repetition. So awareness is the key, but alone awareness can do nothing. Oh, interesting, I have that belief system. Great, now what? Yeah. We need to do a conscious repetition of a new way of thinking, which is exposing yourself to that new way of thinking in various modalities, whether it be reading, new people, new ways of being, new exposing yourself to new experiences. That's what changes our neural pathways. And Norman Doidge, who wrote the book, The Brain That Changes Itself, he's the master of the neural pathway conversation. And he really proved it in science that we can, in fact, change our neural pathways at any age based on what we actually do, which is repeat, 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 and then you will create a new habit, which will create a new neural pathway, and it'll be reinforced and get thicker and thicker and thicker. And so I do believe that it's possible to change our set point of happiness.
I agree with all of that, but I think there's another thing about the being, the spirit, the human spirit. I did a documentary. It was the second piece of film work. It was at the very early stages of my career. So physical abuse was pretty common in my family. I was my father's favorite target. So when I went to City, I did a documentary on physically abused kids. Then the news director came out and said, "You're going to do one on incest." And I'm like, "What?" I put an ad in the Toronto Star, the Telegram, and the Globe and Mail in the personal section, female journalist doing research into incest. If you've had an incestuous or near incestuous experience, write to Dini Petty City TV. I had 400 contacts in 1 month. Women were calling. And here's what I learned. Women who had been through the exact same experience, which would be father, uncle, grandfather, full penetration sex over many years and treated badly. And of that group, 10% never told anyone. They kept it inside and it ate them for the rest of their life. Another percentage got on the psychiatrist's couch and never got off. A good-sized percentage become lesbians and hate men, quelle surprise.
Right.
A small percentage are professional victims, and I worked with one. This woman and her mother came forward, and the mother said on camera, Dini, when I went shopping on Saturday and left her with her dad, it never crossed my mind. I said it wouldn't. So the girl was beautiful, and her marriage wasn't working out, so we were together for 3 days, and then I saw her do it. And when people would come up and introduce themselves, she would say exactly the same thing. Every time she met 3 or 4 people, and every time she was introduced, she did the same thing. First time I watched her face, the other 2 times I watched them. And here's how it went. Say hello, I'm Victoria.
Hello, I'm Victoria.
Hi, I'm Mari, I'm an incest victim. Ooh. And the men's faces would just go, and I went, my God, she's using this to power trip. She's a professional victim. She will go through her life saying, hi, I'm Mari, I'm an incest. I was just, my heart broke.
Ouch.
But then I met a woman, and I met some women, and I met this woman at lunch with her husband and the 2 kids. The family dynamic was incredible. It had been several years that this went on, pretty same case. And after they left, I said, how did you do it? Wow. I met the professional victims, those who never tell. How did you do it? I drew a line in the sand. Yes. And I decided that I deserved a good life. And that word deserve is incredibly important because
it combats shame. It really combats shame.
But a lot of us feel we don't deserve much. Right. I'm really not
That's
very
shame.
good. Yeah.
It's the shame that takes us down and says we don't deserve and that we're not worthy and we're not valuable. And then something in you has to make a decision to say, I do deserve. I absolutely do deserve to feel worthy, to fill my own cup, to take care of myself.
Yeah. That's actually one of the biggest things. That's it. You do deserve.
So I just want to thank you. We've gone to some deep, deep, deep topics here. Yeah. This is amazing.
Light little things.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but it's really amazing, and it's also inspiring, and it's hopefully inspiring you to understand that you're not alone, that you deserve to feel valuable, and that you are in charge of making a decision to climb out of the thing that life has thrown you, the blind sides of life.
No matter what happens.
No matter what.
Yeah, you can get it together. It's
possible.
God, it's
you don't have to be at the mercy of life.
No.
Even though life is going to throw you the curves, don't feel like just sitting there in the muck and the mire of life's curves. You can make a decision. All right. Thank you, Dini.
Oh, my pleasure, Victoria.
Beautiful soul.